put on hold until June 28, 2024, in order for the parties to work to reach final written settlements. Defendants and Mr. Strzok will file a joint status report on it before June 28, 2024, setting forth their positions on how to proceed with regard to the remaining claims, end quote. Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, joins me by phone. Good evening, sir. And Strzok, while he has this love relationship with the lawyer at the FBI, he's investigating Trump and the possible connection of Russia and the possible connection to the Trump campaign, and he's fussing now that his privacy was invaded.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is the same Justice Department, though, remember, that gave Andy McCabe his back pay. Andy McCabe was the guy running this investigation that Peter Strzok was involved in, and Peter Strzok said all these things. And it wasn't just that they were out to get President Trump. Remember the one text message when he says he's in the Northern Virginia Walmart, and he says, "I can smell the Trump supporters." So the disdain that he had for people who voted for President Trump was evident, as well as this bias against President Trump. While he's doing this investigation, he was all part of this team that spied on President Trump's campaign. And now the taxpayers are going to give him, what, back pay? I mean, we don't know what's in this settlement or what's going to be in this agreement, but that's what it sounds like, and that's exactly what they did for the guy who was overseeing all of this, Andy McCabe.
All right, they say their privacy was invaded. Who paid for those cell phones? Were they private or those taxpayer-funded cell phones as part of being at the FBI?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was taxpayer phones that they were having these messages on. I think that was a way they could sort of hide this relationship they had going. So they were actually doing it on the government-issued phones, if I remember the facts correctly. And remember, they were on the special counsel team. So they went from the initial investigation, where a lot of these text messages were happening. Then they moved to Mueller's team, and that's when Horowitz discovered these messages, and he went to Mueller, and Mueller kicked him off of his team because of this ridiculous bias they had against President Trump, and they were out to get him. Remember the one text message where it says, "Don't worry, we'll stop Trump." When Lisa Page asked Peter Strzok, is Trump really going to win? Don't worry, we'll stop him. And, of course, that's what they set out to do with both the spying on the campaign, the stuff that they took to the FISA court that was all garbage, and then, of course, it trickled over into the Mueller investigation.
It's just stunning. I mean, the issues of privacy on taxpayer phones, that's the one thing. But the idea that Strzok was involved in an investigation of the president, and he had such disdain for him. It's the idea that nobody around him said anything. I mean, how was he even permitted to be part of it? I mean, I get that people have disdain for people, but you'd recuse yourself. You'd go on to some other investigation. Let them do counterfeit.
In today's world, remember that we're forgetting another player in this, Kevin Kleinsmith. He's the one who falsified the document that was taken to the FISA court that became the basis to get the warrant to go spy on President Trump's campaign, people associated with President Trump's campaign. Kevin Kleinsmith basically got a slap on his wrist. He falsified an email, changed its meaning 180 degrees to help get the warrant to go spy on the campaign. And he gets his law license, everything. No problem. He gets a little slap on the wrist. Andy McCabe gets back pay. It looks like Lisa Page and Peter Strzok are going to get back pay as well whenever this agreement gets finalized. That's the bias, and they don't see, the left doesn't seem to care. And we're seeing it in New York with Judge Merchan and his daughter. That's reason to recuse yourself in this case. But no, this judge wouldn't do it either.
Well, there's also an issue, frankly, if we want to go a little deeper, of the retirement pay. I mean, look, this is a town of no consequences. That's what is so troubling. As I say, I get that people have biases. There's some things that I don't like in the world, but but the outrage that we're allowing people with obvious biases, stated biases, where they even put it in writing, to continue to oversee in a position of authority, and then the taxpayers have to pay them, is just beyond me.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's just unfortunately the nature of the thing. That's why, I'm turning to politics here, but it's why we need President Trump back in the White House, why you need a new attorney general that can bring that agency back into the idea that it's equal treatment under the law. It's one standard of justice, not this political focus that we seem to have had at the Justice Department now for the last several years.
Well, I think that the Attorney General will be testifying soon. I suspect for a committee. I hope you ask him if he's signing off on. Whose idea it was to sign off on the settlement. I hope he gets asked. Chairman,
he'll get asked. That's next Tuesday. That hearing with Attorney General Garland is next Tuesday in our committee.
Chairman Jim Jordan, thank you, sir.
You bet. Thanks, Greta.